Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel. You Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And its only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ. Not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, it's Yahushua. So we got to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honor to your apostles and the bishops, elders of great millstone who are well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether even accepted or not. In the sense of salutation to all the arguing, pushing this truth and believing this truth, but the full ends of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the awful elect. Shalom to the Abba who are listening learning, you few sisters who are listening learning. Coming to another lesson, truth, facts, faith, and edification. The data edification, Lord, will be edifying. So I titled this lesson, The Tainted Teachings of Esau, Edom. And I was listening to Elder Apostle Rumlaw, and he mentioned this would be a good title for a lesson, The Tainted Teachings of these Edomites. And I also was listening to Elder Malcolm today, and he was dealing with who brought the slaves to Babylon the Great to America. And he mentioned that these Edomites had linked Negroes in America and Native American Indians, Seminoles, the Seminole Indians, Gad and Reuben, and classified them and categorized Judah, Gad, and Reuben as all on the Negroes. In 1682, as it says, Virginia passed 2 acts. Now, real quick, I want to show this. This is from the Elders channel, Elder Malcolm. He did this lesson because he's doing like a series on who brought the slaves to America. So in this part of the video, I just had so like you bear with me here. Let me go back to the point. I just want to show him what he put it on the screen. I forgot where it was at. Bear with me here. He was showing right here. So I saw this. Listen to the elder. So you see, it say Virginia passes 2 acts in 1682 that combine Native Americans and Africans into one category as Negroes. See, it say Negro Indian, right? So, it's new. It's new to me. So I went and looked it up. I've been looking it up. So I went and found it. And the water, because the elder be going into a lot of heavy stuff, man. So right here, I found the article. It's a different one, not the same as the elder got on his phone, but it reads, Virginia passed 2 acts in 1682 that combined Native Americans and Africans into one category as Negroes and other slaves. Now, in the other article I looked up, it said combine Native Americans and Africans into one race, into one racial category as Negroes and other slaves. That's in the other articles I had pulled up. It said the word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include all blacks, right? Because the Africans, they dark skinned, but they ain't Negroes. As it tell you in when you go to the Compact Bible Dictionary, it tell you that Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born 96 years after the flood, or before the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the South Africans, and the Libyans. So it's the word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include all blacks, which is true. Because the Africans come out of Noah's youngest son Ham, and the Israelites come out of Noah's oldest son Shem. So we ain't the same. It reads, we are of the opinion that the words white, Negro, and mulatto means either your mama white or your daddy black, or your daddy black and your mama white, vice versa. It's we are of the opinion that the words white, Negro, mulatto, and black person, whenever they occupy in our constitution, so like whenever they occur in our constitution, must be taken in their genetic sense, that the words black person in the 14th section must be taken as contra distinguished from white and necessarily includes all races other than the Caucasian people. It said the science of racial myth as initiated by the 18th century Carl von Linné, it says, and Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, color coded Europe as white, Asia as yellow, Africa as black, and America as red, without the slightest regard to the fact is neither Liney nor Blumenbach had ever seen any other people they presumed to describe and classify. So, as the elder had brought out in 1681, they deemed themselves as white and deemed Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians as black. It said the science of racial myth, as initiated by the 18th century Carl Linné and Blumenbach, color coded Europe as white, the Edomites, so called white people, Asia as yellow, Chinese and Japanese, African as black, and America as red. That's why they call the Indians red, which is garbage. But then they say Virginia passed two acts in 1682 that combined Native Americans and Africans into one category as Negroes and other slaves. So I want to show these because when Apostle Rumlaw said the tainted teachers of Esau Edom is a beautiful topic. Now, there are two Edomites that came out with African American studies. Let me show you these. Now, this is Melvin J. Hershkovitz. Hershkovitz. He's one is two, they call him the two fathers of African American studies. This is Melvin Hershkovitz. Show you his picture. Is it on here? Well, his picture ain't on here. Okay, let's go back. Hold on, give me a few ticks. Show you his picture. Here is Melvin Hershkovitz. He's one of the fathers of Black African studies. Right here, let me go to this. It say, where is it? Right here. Hershkovitz at the heart of blackness. See? Let me pull this. So it says, let me open this up. It say Melvin Hershkovitz was an American anthropologist who helped to first establish African and African diaspora studies in America academia. Okay? He is known for exploring the cultural continuity from African cultures as expressed in African American communities. Him, let me give you this other guy. And this is the tainted teachings of Esau Edom. Now the Lord said in Deuteronomy 28 and 48 that we had to go to the enemy for the one of all things. Food, water, and nakedness. Transportation, housing, work, schooling, which is 7 things. So we had to get our education from the so-called white man. Now here's the second, the guy. Here's the second father of African American studies, Franz Boas. These are the two. And I want to show these. I'm gonna get a couple precepts. So let's get this blue letter. I ain't gonna make this too long. I just want to make this point because Apostle Ronlaw he had mentioned this title because I had another title for a lesson, of course. But Lord willing, I can do that tomorrow. Lord willing. So in Deuteronomy 28, and 48, the Lord, our sinning, because of us sinning against the Lord, he said, let me read up Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Because thou servest not Yahweh thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. That's 3 things. And in the one of all things. That's the other 4. Schooling, transportation, housing, work. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Let me get this real quick. When you go to Google and type in yoke of iron, right? This is what comes up. When you go to yoke of iron, look, it said Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Hold on, let me show it to you. Can't make this shit up. Let me show it to you. All you gotta do is go to Google and type in yoke of iron. Let me show you what came up. If you think I'm playing, let me show you what came up. All I did was type in yoke of iron. Look what came up. Deuteronomy 28 and 48, man. Look, God warns the Israelites that if they fail to serve him properly, he would allow their enemies to fit them with a yoke of iron. Clearly, the yoke of iron, a heavy, uncomfortable, unyielding, confining restraint, is an implement of destruction used by God to punish his people for their sins. You see that? Now, who the hell put this on Google, man? Huh? Don't worry, I'll wait. Who put this on Google, man? Now, when you type this in, yoke of iron, and go to images, this is what you get. Yeah, you see it? They got Kunta. See this guy right here? This guy right here. And what the other guy at? Let me go back out of this. So when people say, man, y'all just some disgruntled Negroes. No, we ain't disgruntled, man. We talking about facts, man. Yeah. This it, man. Yoke of iron, Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It said from Facebook. Who put this on YouTube, man? And this is the one that had the bells on it. So if you try to run, the bells will go a ring. Anyway, so going back, just had to show that because when you read Deuteronomy 28 and 48, it said the Lord gonna let our enemies put yokes down on our neck. Right? We gotta go to him for the one of all things. Now, because of this, again, thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. 7 things that named them: food, water, clothes, transportation, housing, work, schooling. We had to get schooled by the so-called white man, which is white supremacy. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, let's go to Ephesians. But the Lord said he was going to break this yoke. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get that in Isaiah 9 and 2. Because it tell you in Isaiah 35, it say in the midst of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. The Lord said he was going to give us this truth back in the midst of these Edomites. Now, in Isaiah 9 and 2, it reads this: the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light, which is the truth. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. This is the Lord reactivating the remnant of Israel. Thou hast multiplied the nation, but not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest. Because we see the prophecies playing out. We see the Lord is reactivating the elect. That's what we're talking about. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest. Remember, Yahweh said in Matthew 9 and 37, the harvest is plenty, but the labors are few. Pray to the Father, he may send forth more laborers. So it said, they joy before thee according to the joy in harvest. Because we see the prophecies playing out. We see the elect is being reactivated. And as men rejoice when they divide the spoils. Here's the point. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden. Whose burden? The remnant's burden, Israel's burden. And the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor. See, the Lord hath broken this yoke, as in the days of Midian. You go read about that story. What happened in the days of Midian? The Lord said, for thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. So the Lord broke this yoke. And in Yahweh said in Matthew, right? When the Lord broke this yoke, Matthew 11:28, Yahweh said this: immediately, or emergency, we went right into the yoke of Yahweh Shema. Matthew 11:28, come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. See, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. Because this is the truth. As it tell you in Isaiah 29, this is the rest, this is the refreshing. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. See? So when the Lord broke this yoke in Isaiah 9 and 4, for thou hast broken the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder. That staff represents comfort, protection, a covering. And that's why 2/3 of Jake still trust the so-called white man today, because they control the staff. They got the power. Well, no, the elect, we are trusting in the staff of Yahweh Shema Shai. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. So immediately when the Lord broke the yoke of the so-called white man off the remnant, the Lord put his yoke on the elect. Lord willing, we continue and do it to the end. But the Lord put his yoke on us and broke the yoke of the so-called white man. That's why we some rebellious field niggas. That's what we are now. We are some rebellious field niggas. We ain't gonna conform. We ain't gonna comply. They're gonna have to come down with great wrath. Because now we field niggas that's rebelling against Massa and the house niggas. We rebelling against them bug outs. This is Ephesians 2. But he had us, man. He had us. He had us dumbed down for a long time. But it was the Lord, man. This is Ephesians 2:1. It reads, "And you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins." Yahweh said in John 6, it's the spirit that quickened them, and the flesh profit of nothing. Yahweh, when you read in Isaiah 11, Yahweh was quickened. Yahweh quickened Yahweh. So Yahweh quickened the remnant as he was quickened. And this is why brothers is on a level that they own, man. New brothers that come in, the ones that be diligent, they come in and they be of quick understanding real quick, man. That's how you know. Like somebody that's still playing around, they still asking a million billion questions. When I came in, I didn't ask no questions, man. I just watched the apostles highlighting, and my spirit grew, man. JB asking some of the stupidest questions, man. And as Elder Monatazab always say, man, you the search engine. I ain't asked no questions, man. I just watched the videos and learned, and I was eating, man. Eating. 2 years straight eating, man. I ain't asked nobody no questions, nothing, man. Because the Lord quickened me. Kala Yabashimabashah. And you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in time past ye walked. Listen, ye walked according to the course of this world. What is it about this world? According to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So now we got to go to Colossians 2:8 because we said we walk to the course. Let's read this again. It said, where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. What are you trying to do? 1 John 2:15 say, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Right? If any man love the world, the love of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is of the world, it's not of the Lord, man. So we was conditioned to follow the ways of the world. Go to school, go to college, get your PhD, get your bachelor's, a master's, associates, some degree, doctrine of life. Get your doctorate in something, right? Then they tell you when you do all that, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. But we was following the tainted teachings of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Because 2/3 is still following these ways, but the remnant of Israel, the Lord has woke us up out of this, man. That's what takes in 2 Corinthians 10:5 that the Lord, this truth, has cast down the imaginations and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Lord. So now 2/3 is Proverbs 21:16. He that wanted by the way of understanding shall remain in congregation of the dead. Because the tainted teachings of the so-called white man is the congregation of the dead. You are dead if you're trying to get you a bachelor's, a master's, or associate's, PhD. You are dead. You dead. These are the tainted teachings of the so-called white man. When you go to Colossians 2:8, and it's all about get the bag, chase the bag. You get the bag, you get the house, the woman. You want kids, you get the kids. You get the 500 credit score, 550, 800, 730. Yeah, that's the congregation of the dead because it keeps you on a rat race, man. And if you're trying to prosper in the so-called white man's kingdom, that means you want these devils to stay in power, man. Colossians 2:8, be well as any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So, if you are caught up in the rudiments of this world, then You are still under the rule of the prince of the power of the air. Which in Ephesians 6 it tell you that we're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places, right? The rulers of darkness of this world, which is the so-called white man. This word it say, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. And this is how we was destroyed for a time through the philosophy of the so-called white man, the tainted teachings, and vain deceit after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. And that word rudiments, when you go to it in Google, it says the beginnings, the first principles, the essentials, the fundamentals, the foundations, the beginnings of the so-called white man. It said his principles, his foundations, his essentials. These are the rudiments of the world, man, which is the tainted teachings of Esau Edom. This is Second Thessalonians. We did plenty of lessons on this before, but this different title, it hits different, man. This is Second Thessalonians 2 and 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. So it's saying, for this cause God shall send them strong delusions, that they should believe a lie. So his lying wonders, which is pseudoscience, pseudos, right? Let's get this. Lying, pseudos, tainted teachings, man. It's a lie, conscious, conscious and intentional falsehood. Whatever it is, it's in a broad sense, whatever is not what it seems to be. Of perverse, impious, deceitful precepts, deceitful, a falsehood, lie, lying. Now, let me go back to this is 2 Corinthians 11 and 3. And this is how Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, deceived Eve in the garden, man. 2 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I fear least by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach. This word subtlety right here, I've been heavy on this recently because I never looked it up, and I finally did, and it said craftiness, cunning craftiness. What did Scripture tell you in Genesis 25? I tell you that Esau was a cunning hunter, man. He's a cunning hunter. What did it say? Cunning craftiness. See, the so-called white man is a cunning hunter. It said Esau, he is a cunning hunter in Genesis 25, man. Craftiness, cunning, a specious or false wisdom. See, in a bad sense, trickery or sophistry, craftiness, subtlety, cunning. Yeah, false wisdom, man. This is the tainted teachings of Esau Edom. Look, it's a it's a fit, they got in a good sense, fit to undertake and accomplish anything wise. You got skill. It's in a bad sense, crafty, cunning, novice, treacherous, deceitful, shrewd, crafty. Yeah, man. And what did Eve say? Genesis. What did Eve say? matter of fact, let me go back up. It say Genesis 3:1. It reads, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made, and he said unto the woman, yeah, have God said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" Now they say, now the serpent was more subtle. So out of all 18 nations, the so-called white man is the most subtle nation, man. They are the most crafty, the craftiest nation out of all 18 nations, man. Now this word subtle, 86175. See? Crafty, sly, shrewd, prudent, cunning. Usually in a bad sense, of course. Crafty, prudent, subtle. See? Let's see what this H6191 is. Cunning, man. This nigga is cunning, man. To be crafty. See, ooh, take crafty counsel. Ooh. What it say in Psalm 83? They take counsel together, man. It said to be subtle, be shrewd, be crafty, beware. Take crafty counsel. Wow, that's heavy. It said to be cunning, take crafty counsel, deal deal subtly. Wow. Yeah, that's Esau eating the so-called white man. Take crafty counsel. Hold on. Man, that's heavy. See? Psalms. That's heavy, man. Psalms 83 and 2. If this ain't talking about Esau Edom, I don't know what is. Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken what, Lord? Crafty counsel against thy people. Oh man. So is this a serpent? Is this the snake right here in Psalms 83? Taking crafty counsel against the Lord and his people? No. It's them that in control. It's the elites. It's the so-called white man. They have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against the hid ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. And they showed you that in the movie Roots. They cut us off from the Hebrew and gave us slave English names. They beat the Hebrew out of us, man, which it took them at least 2 generations. But when we got the slave ships in Virginia, Jamestown, we spoke Hebrew, man. So it took them at least 2 generations because we had kids and the kids spoke the Hebrew. So it took them at least 2 generations to get us to speak, to get all of us to speak English, which the Lord said in Deuteronomy 28 that a nation we shall not understand their tongue, man. Okay, we didn't understand what they were saying. We spoke Hebrew. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance." Your name Toby. Your name ain't Kuta Kinte. You can liken that to a Hebrew name. He said, no, your name Toby. No, he said, no, my name Kunta. Kuta Kinte. They cut us off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, of Moab, the so-called Chinese. And when you go to this word Hagarenes, and the Hagarenes, and the Hagarenes, let's see what it say. In the Hagarenes, it say corrected to Hagari. It's a Hagarite or member of a certain Arabian clan. So go back to Ishmael, to the Ishmaelites. Now let's go. It say again. It said the tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabs of Moab and the Hagarenes, which was more Ishmaelite, because it said Arabian. It said Gabal. Let's see who Gabal is. Gabal, H1381. It's a Gabal, a region in Idumea. Okay, so you got the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab and Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon. Ammon be the Japanese, and Amalek, which is the small hats, those that control the world, the elites, the Philistines, which are the Hamites, the original Hamites that was in that land before the so-called white man, and before the Ishmaelites, and before Israel took that land. It was the Hamites or them Philistines. That's why David had constant war with them Philistines, because they want the land back, man. Because the Lord made that's the best land on the earth. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ashur also has joined with them. They have hoping mean to be helped. They have hope in the children of Lot. The children of Lot is Moab and Ammon. So the point right here is say they what? They have taken crafty counsel against our people. You see it? So Eve said, right here, Genesis 3 and 13, and Yahweh power said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. The word beguile, that's that cunning craftiness, man. H5377. This is the tainted teachings of Esau, Edom, so-called white man. That's why 2/3 of Jake love these bastards still to the date. And as it tell you in Jeremiah 2 and 33, 2/3 of our people have trimmed their ways to seek love, man. It's a beguile mean to deceive. Okay? Deceive. To lead astray, mentally to delude, or morally to seduce, beguile, deceive greatly, utterly. So he led us astray with his tainted teachings. That's what it is, man. His false wisdom, man. This is Mark. That's what the word rudiments, Colossians 2 and 8 is heavy, man. Because it say his first principles, his essentials, his fundamentals, his beginnings, his foundations. You gotta learn the ways of the so-called white man. That's how you make it in this world. The only way you're gonna make it in this world, you gotta follow the tainted teachings of the so-called white man. This is Mark 7 and 6. He answered and said unto them, will have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honor me with their lips, which is in Isaiah, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold a tradition of men. See? What men? The so-called white men. As the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandments of God, that you may keep your own traditions. So we are following the ways of the so-called white man. This is Ephesians. The tainted proverb, the deceitful precepts, the tainted proverbs of the so-called white man, the tainted teachings. This is Ephesians 6 and 12 and 11. It reads, Ephesians 6 and 11, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now this word wiles link right back to subtlety, wiles, G3180. See? Cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. See? Travesty, trickery, wow, lie and wait. See it? Let's get one. Let's get these G's. See what this say. Okay, that one going to something else. Let's get this other one. See what the other one say. G3593. Okay, going to something else. Okay, so yeah, man. Cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery, man. So everything that we have that we was taught here in Babylon the Great America was false wisdom. That's the word subtlety in 2 Corinthians 11:3. His tainted teachings, man. His tainted teachings. Now, real quick, I want to get the definition for tainted. Let's see what it say. It say, hold on. They playing with me now. Bear with me. Let me go to the phone and get it. It's heavy, man. So it say tainted, contaminate or pollute something. See? Oh, I gotta get this since it said that. Let's go to Michael. See? Everything lead to precepts, man. Michael 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. So the word tainted, let me play it. Taint. It got past tense tainted. It say contaminate or pollute something. It say contaminate. These are similar words. Contaminate, pollute, adulterate, infect, befoul, spoil, destroy, ruin. Yeah, man. Stain, tarnish, blacken. Of food or water become contaminated or polluted. Yeah, man. This is and what we was taught here polluted our mind, man. We was tainted, polluted. See, if a man walking in the spirit and falsehood, and what was one of the words for line one for his pseudos? It said conscious falsehood, deceitful precepts, man. Oh, Isaiah 28:15. 2/3 of Jake said, we have made covenant with death, and that hell we had agreement. We have made lies we have made lies our refuge. We have made hold on. I don't want to misquote it. Isaiah 28:15. Falsehood, man. Yeah. And under falsehood have we hid ourselves. We have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Oh, let's link back to Esau, man. Subtlety, cunning craftiness. When Eve said he beguiled her, It all goes back to the so-called white man. I read Psalms 83. They said what? Let us take crafty counsel against his people, man. Let's see what falsehood say. H8267. Man, this is beautiful, man. Falsehood. Look, lie, deception, disappointment, falsehood, deception. What deceives or disappoints or betrays one. Deceit, fraud, wrong, fraudulently, wrongfully, falsehood, injurious, in testimony, testify falsehood, false oath, swear falsely, uh, falsity, of false or absurd or self-deceived prophets, lie, falsehood, false tongue. What does scripture say? Under his tongue is vanity and lies. Ooh, in vain. See, this is the so-called white man. Untruthful, a sham. Without a cause, deceit, falsehood, liar, lie, lying, vain thing, wrongfully. Let's see what this 8266 say. This is Esau, man. To do or deal falsely, to be false, trick, cheat, to deal falsely, to cheat, i.e., be untrue, usually in words, fail, deal falsely, lie. Man, can't make this up. It goes back to the so-called white man. They crafty cunning, man. He's a cunning hunter. Remember, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is a cunning hunter. It's an under his tongue is mischief and vanity, man. So, yeah, I just want to make some points on that because Apostle Ron Lott mentioned it today. And man, you got these two Edomites known as the fathers of African American studies, man. But the Lord woke us up out of this and brought us back. But 2/3 done trim their way to seek love so long, like they stuck there, man. Ain't no turnaround for them, man. So again, kind of like how about Shema Shai, because we was tainted by the teaching of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And the Lord woke us up out of that, man. Oh, let me close with this. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 10:5. And there's a lot more precepts I can get, man. As a matter of fact, let me hold to this. Psalms 119 and 104. Let me read this one first. It reads, through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. We hate every false way now, man. When we found out that the so-called white man, he tainted us with his false wisdom, as the word subtlety, false subtlety in 2 Corinthians 11:3 means false wisdom, man. His deceitful precepts, man. They lied to us. 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. And Yahweh Shema Shai has pulled down every stronghold of so-called white man lies, his tainted teachings, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach. So the Lord has brought the remnant out of the tainted teachings into what? Into the captivity. It saying, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. So now we standing in the paint, defending the gospel 24/7, because our disobedience has been fulfilled with obedience. The yoke of Yahweh Shema Shai. Yeah, man. And we here. And 2/3 ain't, man. Whoever they is. Lord, it's edifying. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, now the bishop, now is a great millstone, who teach well, who are the apostles, now of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In a sense, it's saying, chasing toward the ark and pushing this truth and believing this truth with the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the uplift who are listening, learning. Ye few sisters who are listening, learning. Throughout tuning in, may Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Let me read this, Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? The remnant was made. The remnant was made to understand the truth. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make? Whom shall the Lord make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. I gotta get this. I gotta get this. 2 Corinthians 4:3. Because we dealing with the spiritual demon Satan, man. Through his minions on earth, which is the elites, with their tainted teachings. 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Why are they lost, Lord? In whom the God of this world, I read Ephesians 2:1. In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. How did he blind them, Lord? With tainted teachings. And they love it. Oh, the Lord said it was that is that Jeremiah 5? Yep. And my people love to have it so. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, who Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, uh, your African American studies came from two so-called white people, man, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, least the light, which I read in Isaiah 92, least the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. See, they can't get it, man. It was one more I wanted to get to. Man, it's heavy, man. And I can keep going, man. I got so much more I want to bring out. But the point is made, man. The tainted teachings of the so-called white man, from the garden to the last captivity, man. But the Lord did it. It said the scripture tell you that in Romans 8, he have subjected the same in hope, man. 2/3 don't got no hope. Their hope is vain. Their hope is vain, man. Because they hope in what the so-called white man hopes. Oh, you know what? Isaiah 31:1. This is 2/3 hope. It reads, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not to the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, which are you Israelites, and against the help of them that work iniquity. That's the elites. That's your government. Government mean mind control. And 2/3 is controlled. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth your government shall fall, and he that is hoping, the word hoping meaning to be helped, shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. And I also was thinking about this Jeremiah 5 in the last verse, which is 31, I think. Yep. This is Jeremiah 5:31. It reads, the prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do? in the end thereof. See, my people love to have it. So it said the prophets prophesy falsely, right? Let's link this. Isaiah 24:1. Let's link this. Two precepts right here. Isaiah 24:1. Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with what? The priests who controls the religion. Huh? Don't worry, I'll wait. This so-called white man, Roman Catholic Church. In Revelation 16 and 13, it said the three unclean spirits, right? Came out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the frog, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, right? It said three unclean spirits. Out of the mouth of the false prophet was who? The Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic dogma, every religion, Baptist, Methodist, Pentecostal, Protestant, Jehovah Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, it all go back to Roman Catholic Church, Islam. So it said what? Isaiah 24:2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priests. See? As with the servant, so with his master. Who is the master? The so-called white man. Who are the servants? You so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indians, Haitians. As with the maid, so with the mistress. As with the buyer, so with the seller. As with the lender, so with the borrower. What it said in Deuteronomy 28 and 43, they shall lend to us and we shall not lend to them. And most of Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitians can't get no loan. Cause your credit score ain't high enough. So with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury. How does the white man establish his kingdom? On usury, redlining, predatory lending. So with the giver of usury to him. See, one more. I gotta get one more. Because it said, so with the priest. See, as with the people, so with the priest. Which went back to this verse. The prophets prophesy falsely, Jeremiah 5 and 31. And the priests bear rule by their means. What's his mean? The tradition of men, which I read in Mark 7, Colossians 2 and 8. And my people love to have it so. Jake love it. They love it. And what will ye do in the end thereof? Burn up, die grievous deaths. But I want to close with this. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. It reads, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of a Mashiach, which is 2/3 of Jake, but it's applied to Esau because they're in control of religion. But it's talking about 2/3 of Israelites, your Nates and your Hunnels and Grekoff and GOCCs and everybody else that's not teaching 100% truth. And no more, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. And 2/3 of our people trust in the so-called white man's ministry. TD Snakes, Duffalo Dollar, Gino Jennings, Pastor Bryant, Nate. That nigga got all them. They got a 501c3, man. So they have transformed themselves into the ministers of righteousness. Amen. But what the Lord said, what? In Jeremiah 5 and 31, what will you do in the end thereof? Till next time I say Shalom, Wa Abba. The wicked, false wisdom, tainted teachings of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man.